Most people don't fail exams or fall behind in their career because they're lazy. They fail because they study wrong. They cram, they reread notes, they highlight pages until they glow in the dark. And then they wonder, why don't I remember anything? Studying harder doesn't fix it. You need to study smarter. I'm Sven Emmerich, author of Master Your Lifescript, and in this video I'll show you 3 laws from a book that explain how to actually study smarter and why most advice you've heard keeps you stuck. Here's the truth. Studying isn't just about putting in the hours. It's about how your brain learns. If you ignore how learning really works, you'll waste time, you burn energy, and you tell yourself stories like, I'm just not good at this subject. But if you align your studying with natural laws of learning, you'll not only remember more in less time, you'll build confidence that compounds. So here are 3 laws of studying smarter. The learning staircase is number 1, why repetition isn't enough. The second is attribution styles, why you're not bad at math or bad at languages. And the third is flow, why deep focus makes studying easier, not harder. Law number 1, the learning staircase, 4 steps of competence. Most people imagine learning as a straight ramp. The more time you put in, the better you get. But that's not how your brain actually works. It doesn't slide smoothly. It climbs like a staircase. Each step represents a different competence level. First, unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. The topic's really invisible to you. Second, conscious incompetence. You notice the subject, but you're clumsy and aware you're struggling. Third, conscious competence. You can do it, but only with focus, effort, or notes in front of you. And fourth, unconscious competence. It clicks. You can do it automatically, even under pressure. Now, here's the trap. Most students stop climbing between step 2 and step 3. They reread notes or recognize formulas. I've seen this before. And confuse that recognition for mastery. But recognition isn't recall, and it isn't application. That's why you bomb your test. Even after hours of study, you never climbed high enough on the staircase. Studying smarter means deliberately forcing yourself up. Test yourself instead of rereading. Solve without notes instead of copying. Teach someone else instead of silently reviewing. Each of these actions is like pulling yourself up to the next step. And here's where identity ties in. If you never move past step 2, your memoir writer logs the story, I'm just not good at this subject. It feels true, but it's false. You're not broken. You just haven't climbed far enough. Law number 2, attribution styles, why you must unlearn old labels. This brings us to the second law, how you explain failure to yourself. When you stumble on the staircase, it's tempting to just say, I'm bad at math, or languages just aren't for me, or I'll never get this stuff. That's attribution at work. You've turned a specific, a fixable struggle into a fixed identity. But here's the twist. Sometimes studying smarter isn't about learning more, it's about unlearning that story. You're not bad at math, you've just never climbed past recognition into recall. You're not hopeless at languages, you've just stayed stuck at step 2, rereading vocab instead of using it. See how different that feels? One story says, I'm broken. The other says, my method failed me and I can change it. That's why the staircase and attribution are linked. Every time you step up, you prove to your memoir writer in your brain that the old label was false. Your move is, the next time you hear yourself say, well, I'm just not good at this, stop, reframe it. I haven't climbed the next step yet. That shift alone changes your identity from helpless to learner. So law 3, flow. Why deep focus makes studying easier. Most people think studying smarter means finding hacks to multitask or cut corners. But the truth is the opposite. The smartest studying happens when you lose yourself in focus. That's flow. The state where time passes fast, distractions fade, and your brain runs at full power. Flow happens when three conditions meet. First, the challenge is just above your current skills. Not too easy, not too hard. Second, you've removed distractions. No buzzing phone, no background chaos. And third, you've broken the work into clear chunks with feedback. That's why 1 hour in flow can beat 5 hours of distracted grinding. Your move is to set up one study session for flow. Choose a challenge slightly above your comfort zone. Cut every distraction and then work in 25 to 45 minute blocks with a clear test at the end. You'll feel the difference. And once you experience it, you'll never go back to fake studying. So how do you study smarter? Not by cramming harder, not by rereading endlessly, but by flipping 3 laws. The learning staircase. Force yourself up to recall and application. Secondly, attribution style. Stop turning mistakes into fixed identity. And third, flow. Structure your study so focus does the heavy lifting. Flip those and studying stops being a grind. It becomes a system you can trust. Tough, but fair, like the laws of reality themselves. So here's my challenge. What's one subject you are studying right now, and what's the smallest change you can make today to move one step up the staircase? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to go further, my book, Master Your Lifescript, is launching soon. There's a waitlist linked in the description. Hop on and you'll get the first updates and bonuses when it drops. Subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into how you win. See you next time, my friend.